we expect certain things from people, especially when it's somebody that you married and all that kind of like when you look at the 5 years, the 10 years, the 20 years that you've been with somebody and you thought you knew that person, but when they show you who they really are, because on the other hand, people may claim to love and all that just because you are being what they want you to do or you are abiding by their rules, right? But the moment you step out when it comes to like divorce and kind of things like that, it's kind of like, oh, you're not gonna. I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna sort of like suck life out of you, to show you who I am. You can be with me, you can be happy. But out of if you're not with me, you can't be happy. And the person who does that is somebody who is hurting. And unfortunately, we live in a world where even when you look at the whether it's the government, that's what it does. Because for me, I would say the pain that I held into even at that time was the judgment of the situation where I'm like, I don't get it. These are the people who are alcoholics. Even my like the first father of my children, still he had alcoholic traits, and here it is again with my ex-husband, alcoholic. But I couldn't accept that. Like I couldn't process it. I couldn't accept it. But I had to go through this period where I had to come to terms with this is the world that we live in. But again, when you look at it, again to what has been, because even when you're talking about ancestors, there may be biological ancestors, but
Yeah.
it can be, we could be dealing with the collective ancestors, where it's
Because,
kind of like
yeah.
things have been this way. As women before, women stayed in relationships or in marriages, not because they wanted to, because they didn't have any choice. It was a man's world.
You
And
know what? What's also really strange about this whole thing is it's something that you don't realize the red flags or patterns until you're out of the situation because from what your experience from the 10 years, I'm only guessing, but being out of that experience and looking back at it, you're like, oh, there were signs. There were clear
yeah.
signs. Why didn't I see those signs? I mean, there's a variety of reasons why, but it's interesting that we get into that pattern after the effect while we're in it.
What I always say. I don't care how much you are reading because at times I find people who are so absorbed with I'm gonna find out what triggers narcissists, how to get power over them, and they get sucked into the whole information thing. But information is not transformation, because first thing we attract who we are. When I look at me and my parents or relationship who are attracted, it's quite interesting because it was like after the divorce, I was just sitting in my meditation and I had a voice just saying, what part of you has a problem with this man drinking? So my response was like, I mean, why shouldn't I have a problem with somebody drinking? It's kind of like, duh, are you stupid or what? But in that moment, I just got this download where I'm getting to understand that I don't have a problem with him and his drinking and his habits and all that. But my inner child is looking for his father. My father had alcohol, so I'm attracting these people who are broken because it's a part of me that is looking for it. Like that's a love that I know, and a part of me wants that love from the Father. When I say these people, maybe they'll love me. I'm still operating from the relationship or the lack of it with my Father. That's what I know. So when you're talking about love, it's not about the love that you think you deserve. It's the love that you know that your nervous system craves. So that's what I was looking for. And even when it comes to the red flag, we may know the information. I know. But if your frequency is at that level, that's what you're gonna attract. Even though you know what you know. And you may actually people often what I see playing out, people are not able to be present and hear, feel, know what is being communicated because we are listening from our own. All the relationships that I've been in, especially being an intuitive, even before I married my husband, I knew even the time when I was doing those shit vows until death do us part bullshit. And there was a voice in me that was like, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you saying?" You know,
Mm,
and I just knew that I'm lying to myself. And even before, I still remember when I had a conversation with him and I say, the relationship that I want to be in, this is not the place that I want to raise my children. But the illusion was he's going to get over this. I'm going to help him get over this. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to rescue him. That's bullshit. Because when I look at his timeline, indeed, the possibility of that potential, the possibility of who he could be if he quits this pattern is there. But the question is that person open to get over this? Right? Is this person really ready to unleash their potential? No. And it doesn't happen even on my timeline. So that's the illusion